Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of my Ruvi Challenge ride along. This is again the tour of Slovenia. This is the second route that I'm doing on this. It is the, I can't even say that, it's the Krvavec Climbe. I don't know, I apologise. But basically you can see it's only an 8.58 mile route, but it's a lot uphill. So be prepared for me to be breathless, sweaty, and but on my bike. Don't worry, it's not a I've selected a few virtual riders on this one, which you can see here, and it shows basically a lot of them are averaging between 2.8 and 2.6 average watts per kilogram. So I thought I'd select them. I knew I'd be around there somewhere, so it's just a bit of a gauge really, more than anything else. I'm not looking to beat them. It's just nice to sort of know where you are. And as you can see on that left hand side, that shows the people I've selected. Basically I selected 9, so there's 10 of us in total, and I'm just basically going to try my best to do this. When I looked, I think the course record was like 37 minutes or something like that. I won't be anywhere near that. I think it's closer to an hour, maybe a touch more. So yeah, so bear with me. But before we get into it too much, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I would really appreciate it. I'm a positive mental health ambassador for Mates, which you can see from my jersey. And yeah, we've got a cycling club that I'm a part of, and obviously at the moment we're back in lockdown, so not many group rides. So I thought I would come onto here, show a bit of what Ruvi's about, and hopefully get a few of you cycling indoors. So that's sort of the aim of these videos. 3.3%. I mean, you can see it's a very hilly route. It's going to be hard work throughout the whole thing, so we just hope for the best really. So if you're new to the channel, go and have a look at some other videos after this. I do quite a bit of mental health awareness stuff on there, including a bit of a FIFA playlist, Pro Cycling Manager playlist, and then just some general videos I've done in association with Mates. And yeah, that's sort of what the channel's about. But you can see on the top left that we're about to start stepping up now, so it's going to start to get a little bit tougher. I'm not looking forward to that really red section. But when I go out normally, when I'm on the out with like friends and whatnot, I'd say like the hills is where I probably feel most comfortable. I'm not particularly good on the flats, but the hills is usually where I do best. But I'm saying that now at the bottom of this. Let's wait till I get to the top. Now you can see that Krvavec, I apologise if I got your name wrong, has gone flying past me, one of my virtual partners, and you can see that they're thrashing at 4 watts per kilogram at that moment. I'm just looking to get the challenge, or get this route completed. Here you go, the RB's 074 flying past me as well. But we're pacing. Stay at your own pace. Do not compare yourself to others. Only compare yourself to yesterday. And yesterday I was too lazy to get out on the bike, so there you go. Actually, to be fair, yesterday I recorded a new video for my Pro Cycling Manager video series, so go and check that out after this if you like, if you're into your gaming. Going back to when I said that I feel better on the hills than I do on the flats, I do, but I think it's because on the hills you've got to be very mindful about what you're doing, and you're very much, I've got to get up this hill, I've got to get round that next corner. Whereas when it's on quite a long, boring flat, my mind can wander. And as you can probably tell from this being a mental health awareness sort of series, I go through it, I struggle with it. So it's almost like putting yourself through the pain of going up a hill to keep your mind quiet, but it's more about being mindful about what you're doing. So that's what we're doing now anyway. If I shut up for a minute, I need to breathe. We're on 11% now, and it's only going to stay, it looks like it's going to stay at around this for a while, and then kicking up probably to 17, 18. I'm not quite in the lowest gear yet, but it's not going to take much more for me to drop down, I can tell you. See, we're getting into the red bit now, so it's on 12%. That red is going to be hitting over 15, I imagine. Okay, I'm in my lowest gear now. 15%. And the resistance has really kicked in now. I think with my trainer, it's the Elite Directo X, and it can go up to 18%. So basically, if you get to 25%, you're not going any further than 18, or any harder than 18. But 18% is nothing to be sniffed at, I can assure you of that. But we're at 16 now, down to 15. So only 10 minutes into this, and it is bloody tough. Oh my goodness, still at 14. And it probably looks like we're nowhere near halfway through this bit yet. So basically, settle into this part and just get to where it levels out a bit. Okay, so 2.11 miles in at the 8.58 course, so we're about a quarter of the way through, and you know, I think I'm right to assume this hill is the hardest bit, because it hasn't dropped, I don't think, below about 11%. I've been on it for quite a while. But I'm feeling alright. Trying to keep a high cadence, but it's steep, man. Alright, we're 15 minutes in, quarter of the way through, so aiming around an hour in total for this. After this route, I've only got one left of this tour of Slovenia, and that'll be my challenge completed. So that'll be good. Positive mental attitude, as the wife says. A beer afterwards. Positive mental attitude, I say. About 2/3 of the way up of this first climb, maybe a touch more. It's tough. Oh, 16%. You look in the top left. 16%, 17%. Oh my goodness. Resistance proper kicking in now. I mean, it looks steep, doesn't it? On the video, this is why this AR, this augmented reality, is so good, because you can see how steep this road is. Alright, hopefully it's going to level out a little bit. It looks like we're getting to that point where it goes a bit more yellow. then it kicks up again before flattening out before the next sort of phase, which isn't as tough as that we've just done. So we'll take that. Positive again. So I'm trying. As a positive mental health ambassador, it's quite important for me to show positivity. It's not what goes through my head a lot of the time, but that's why I preach and then try and practice that. It looks still quite steep though, doesn't it, on that? So RB074 powered through that last bit and is now well up the road. And we're about to kick into this last little bit before it flattens out a touch. Back up to 12%. Joe N79, I salute you, sir. Let me know how it is when you get to the top, mate. Right, so final kick before it levels out for a little bit, and we're on 11%. It's going to go up probably to about 14, 15, and you can see just a little bit further on, if you're looking at the bottom, and it goes yellow and green, which is good news, before it then kicks up again for the rest. So 13%. $15. 15% now. Little push towards the end. I say the end. A little push before it levels out. That yellow looks lovely. Even looks downhill. Thank God. Right, going to start feeling easing off now. 7%, 7.9. Looks like we're just about to get to a nice little bit. Just try and step up the gears. Oh, I've gone a bit too far. I got a bit overexcited then. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, so nice bit of downhill now, which gives us a bit of a time to recover and hopefully claw some time back from the clock anyway, not from anyone else ahead of us, because they're all flying. But for us, I said about an hour. I think it's going to be more than that. We're over a third of the way through now. It's going to be close to the hour mark. But look at that scenery, look at that, beautiful. I think the most beautiful place I've cycled is through Wales. I haven't been to many places, if I'm being honest. I've done the New Forest, but yeah, when I cycled around North Wales, around Snowdonia, that was it was beautiful around there. Tough. I've done the Penya Pass, which basically puts Snowdon in the distance, and it was about 45 miles, which is the most I've done this year, to be honest. Like I've said before, I'm a very average sort of cyclist. 15, 16 mile an hour, 17 on a good day, depending on the route and the distance. So I'm probably like many other people watching this, that, you know, I'm not going to break any records, but cycling is something that makes me feel good about myself, and it's my main sort of source of fitness really, which is why it's important that I do this. Alright, it's starting to step up again now. That went very quick, didn't it? Very, very quick. I feel alright though, I feel alright here. It's uphill near enough all the way to the finish now. Just easing off at times, so the incline, rather than that at times, it sort of does that. It doesn't do that again, I don't think. Maybe a slight little touch, but not really. if you want to go back and look at my ride that I done around Wales, you can go and follow me on Strava. I'll put a link below, and on there you can see how average I actually am. So, like I said, I do alright, but I don't go out nearly as often as I should. And I bought my smart trainer to encourage me to work hard through the winter, because I you know, people don't like admitting it, but I'm quite a fair weather cyclist, and there's no shame in that. In November or December or whenever in fact. I remember once when I went out on my bike and it was chucking it down, and I was literally on the final few hundred metres from home, and I've come around a corner a little bit too quick and my bike's just gone under me. And you know, a lot of people come off their bikes, but it did shake me, because I was probably 10 seconds before that I would have ended up under a car, but luckily he was far enough further down the road. So it was scary, and I don't think that not wanting to cycle in the rain, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? But as long as you've got the right gear, you're careful and crack on. And I do go out, but just prefer it when it's a bit sunnier. Don't mind when it's cold, but yeah, rainy and dark, not my thing. Hence why I'm doing this. So well, we're nearly halfway through, just over half hour mark. On a bit of a steepish bit now. Place your bets. 14%. I thought we'd be more than that. $15. We're very much on our own here as well. The people I've selected as the virtual partners, they're either well in front or reasonably far behind. Maybe I set my targets a bit too high, which you'd think is counterintuitive to what I'm trying to achieve here, but such is life. At least I'm aware of it, and awareness is the key. Oh, just mucking around with gears again. Alright, we're over halfway then, 34 minutes in. It's going to be just over an hour of this route. But then, like I said, after this one I've only got one left to do, and then that'll be the Slovenia challenge done. And then that'll be a step closer to going up a level on my career mode on Ruby, which will be great. But I've got a race to do at some point which I haven't registered for yet, and then 3 specific routes, so still a long way to go, but at least the challenges will be ticked off. And this one finishes in December as well, so a nice one to chalk off the list. Chalk off, check off, tick off, whatever, it'll be done. Alright, so we're kicking up again a bit here, over halfway. Feeling alright, not feeling my best. I didn't have the best lunch to prepare today, if I'm honest. We had leftover Chinese. So, you know, like I said, average. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, cycling is very good for my mental health. I find it's very difficult sometimes to drag myself out to go out on the road, and to be fair, even at times to come and do this. But I know when I've done it, I feel a lot better, and I feel a bit better with myself, and it'll give you those endorphins of, you know, I've done a good thing. So, and even now, when I'm nearly 5 miles of the way in of this 8.5 mile route, there is part of me that wants to stop, walk away, and go and open that beer that I've got waiting for me in the fridge. Or five. But that's what brings you mental toughness and pushing through when it is hard. But it's important to talk when you are struggling, and that's how I found mates to be such a good group to be a part of. I found them when I was going through a tough time, and now I'm an ambassador for them. So it's better not to suffer in silence, and it's always good to try and talk to someone. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone you don't know than someone within your close circle of friends, family, wife, husband, whatever. And I certainly found that I'm not particularly the best at communicating at times, which my wife will be nodding her head at if she's watching this. But it is important to get it out of your system. If it's talking to someone, writing, anything, to get it out, because when you leave negative thoughts inside, they can eat away at you, corrode you, and you don't want to get to the end of that. I've lost people close to me that let it get too much, and it's devastating for everyone. So make sure that if you ever feel that you're even near that point or some way off it but on that road, no pun intended, then speak to someone. If you want, you can message me. My details are on the description below, and I can signpost you to someone that may be able to help, because it's important to take that first step. As far as I'm concerned, mental health is very similar to something like to addiction, that you've got to want to help yourself. If you want to stop your addiction or help your mental health, you need to take that first step. No one can do it for you. And if you're here to watch this video about cycling, and all of a sudden you've got some Wally from Essex telling you to speak out if you need help, then hopefully I'm doing some sort of service. Super Electron 73 is going to take me here. God, how fast are you going? You crack on, mate. I don't expect that you had Chinese for dinner last night or Chinese takeaway, leftovers for lunch. Not a dig at him. Says more about me, doesn't it? Alright, 3.5 miles left. You can see where Super Electron 73, shout out to you, is that it's steep, stepping up. Gives you a bit of perspective. Oh, steps up a lot. Oh, gears are everywhere. I'm not the most technical person in the world. I'm pretty rubbish when it comes to fixing things, and my bike's no exception. I wish I knew more. I wish I was better at it, but I'm not. So I go to my local shop and they help me. Even when I got this trainer, didn't have a clue what I was doing. I've fallen off it once. So again, if you're struggling, reach out, even if it is a local cycle shop, about your trainer. Right, we're coming to the first split now. I think there's only this and the finish, so it's the only split. Oh, Super Electron was alright on the flats. I'm not digging, I'm not. Grinding it a bit there. My lower range gears aren't very happy. I'm not sure it has an indexing thing or what, but see, I took the mickey and he's gone. You crack on, mate. I'm not competing. You crack on, son. Where is this split? Get off it. Oh, God. Another thing I'd like to do on Ruby is now look around. Do you know what I mean? If it was like a Google 360 image where you could sort of turn your mouse or something to actually see around you, that would be pretty cool. because half the fun of cycling is seeing the scenery and whatnot. Right, here's your first split. Again, not breaking any records. We're going to be 106th. Just 44 minutes. I'll get better. It's not all about the cycling. Look at me freewheeling up this mountain. And that's why I'm probably 44 minutes. Because other people don't do that. Okay. Stepping up again. Getting a bit cocky now. Okay. Bit of rest. First time you've seen me on one of these videos, let me just quickly explain. You'll know already if you're familiar with Ruvi and seen a past video, you'll be familiar, but let's just have a little look for those who might not know. So on the top left, you have got my current statistics, current stats. You've got watts, your average watts per kilogram, your speed, your cadence, and if I had a heart rate monitor on, you'd see that as well, but I haven't. Below that, you've got your current elevation, or your incline or decline, whatever. And then below that, you've got people that are near you. Now, some of those will probably be my virtual partners I've selected. Some of those might be people that are currently live doing it. So if you were live doing it now, give us a little thumbs up, say hello. And at the bottom, that goes all the way from left to right along the screen, you'll see that is your profile of the route you're doing. Now, if you were to go and select one of the options on the top right, you can see your map, your average stats for that ride, etc, etc. But you can see basically the profile of the route there, and we are the little blue marker 2/3 of the way through that says 6.04 mile, 0.5 mile, and then your final bit at the bottom right is your total distance. So that's sort of the screen layout. Oh, in the top centre as well as your time elapsed as well, but I'm pretty sure you would have been able to understand that. But if not, that's fine too. Oh, I'm bobbing around like nobody's business. About 2 miles left now, and I'm looking forward to the end. I'll tell you that for free. Not that I'm going to charge you for this at all anyway, but you know what I mean. Not too long left. Oh, it looks like it's going to step up again. Somewhat on our own still here. The group of people I think I selected at around 2.8 average watts per kilogram, somewhere up the road. And then I think like the lot that are about 2.6 are obviously a bit further down, so I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm around 2.65, 2.7, but that's just a guess. Alright, nice little bit now. I like about 4.5%, it's nice, isn't it? Feels like a day off. Ooh. 0.2, feels like a holiday. Starting to grind it out a bit now. %. There's still more of those high gradients to come, I see. In the last sort of half a mile probably. 1.5 miles left now. We're not going to complete within the hour. Let's just get to the end and see what the time is, shall we? Tried grinding it for as long as I could on that section. Always told though, it's better to spin it than grind it, and that's what I prefer to do even when I'm out on the road. high cadence, low gear. You get up eventually. But what I was talking about earlier about mental toughness. Again, everyone goes through waves of feeling stronger or weaker, and probably feel a bit stronger than I did earlier, but still part of me is ready to pack it in. But there's a mile and a bit left, so just got to keep going, just got to keep getting on with it. Each pedal stroke is closer to home. It's ironic, I'm actually at home, aren't I? But you know what I mean. But I'd say the next mile is going to be quite tough, and then the last little bit looks nice and level. So hope the view's good from the end. Alright, so we have now got a mile left. We've done 7.58 of very consistent uphill, very steep in places, and we've already got 2/3, 3/4 of a mile left of going uphill before it levels out and a coast to the finish. So we're nearly there. Like I've said, if you're new to the channel, give this video a like and go and subscribe if you would. I raise positive mental health awareness, but like I've said, I go through my own times, and this is just proof of that. To be honest, it's been a bit of a journey for me during this one. Not only did it take me a while to set everything up today, it hasn't gone swimmingly and I'm struggling a bit, but positive to take out of it is that I've actually got on my bike, cycled up a bloody big hill, and then I can go and chill out for the rest of the evening. So not really, a lot more positives to take out than negatives, but doesn't make it any less less difficult. But sometimes you just got to get on with it and push through, because you know the benefits at the end are going to be really rewarding, rather than could have quite happily sat on the sofa watching a Christmas film, drinking a few beers. Don't get me wrong, I'll probably still do that later, but at least I've gone on my bike to offset that. Looking on the leaderboard on the left, Super Electron, who was only with me a couple of miles ago, has flown up. Absolutely flown up. There was no chance of me sticking with him. Not today anyway, and probably not for the rest of this year. But it's incentive, isn't it? And that's why I selected the virtual partners, to sort of see where I was on the scale, and I think it's quite easy to say no man's land, but it's a start, and hopefully this will give me the drive to then get on my bike again soon to complete this Tour of Slovenia challenge, one step closer to moving up to the next level on the cycling career mode on Ruvi. Okay, we have got half a mile left, final push now. Cadence going up, resistance up again on 13% on the gradient. Power through. You can see on the left hand side that I'm now second, but that's only because people that are ahead of me have finished. So I've been on my own for a long time, and if anything, Lucas RH might even catch me before the end. So let's not get too excited. I'm pushing hard though, I won't lie to you. My cadence is high, my heart rate's high. You can't see it, but I promise you, Last little bit now. That split should come up in a minute. I'm longing for the yellow, which means that the gradient would have eased off. There's the split. 0.3 mile to go. I think we're going to finish 106th. But I'll take 107th, to be honest. I'm not overly that fussed of where I finish, as long as I finish. Oh, that final countdown ain't going down quick enough. Lucas RH is catching me here. There's the yellow. Finish, well, it's not quite within sight, but it's not far off. Gradient is slowly easing. Step up the gears. Final push. And we might keep Lucas at bay just about. Push it, come on. There's the flags. There's the finish. Power to the end. Oh my goodness. An hour and 10 minutes. Now, that was hard. Be under no illusions, that was difficult. Alright, so that's the end. Difficulty 5. It was hard. You can see in my power zones, a lot of it was in zone 7, which means I was struggling. But the actual route itself, I'm probably being quite stingy with a 4. I think it's just my mindset has made it that, so I'll probably give it a 5. But overall, I enjoyed the route. It was a struggle, but like I said before, if you like this video and you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you can like this video, please, as well, that'd be great. If you were interested in having a look at mates, I'll put a link in the description below. Go and check out the channel for other videos that I've done. Most of them are raising awareness of mental health. Like I said earlier, I've got FIFA player career mode on there. I've also got a pro cycling manager one as well as my Ruby ride alongs that I'm doing. If there's any routes you'd like me to attempt, then again, put those in the comments below. But obviously, that means now I've got one left of the Tour of Slovenia challenge to complete, which I'll do soon. And then that'll be that challenge out of the way, and then we can concentrate on the 3 routes that I need to do within this standard to move on to the next level on my Ruby career. But yeah, like I said, if there's any routes you want me to try, and if you want to try and beat that time that I've just done, go ahead. I don't think it'll challenge many of you. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a good rest of your day and take care of yourselves. Cheers.